Hi, I'm Annie Delaney, and welcome to your session about managing employees with Raise Kids. There are lots of ways that employees can utilize Raise Kids that can make their life and your life easier, where you can delegate certain tasks to them. You can have them participate in communicating with families. You can have them access activities to be able to plan to do with the kids. And what we'll do today is walk through all the steps that you need to make sure that they can have access, understand all the different pieces that they can get to, and then also talk through our feature on tracking their time and specifically go through a demo with that. So we will go ahead and get started, and I will share my screen. So the first piece that we'll walk through together is how you add employees to Raise Kids so that you know that they can access it. We'll also then discuss what employees can do with Raise Kids, and then we'll provide a live demo of our employee time tracking feature that we recently launched. Here you can see a preview of what that employee time tracking feature looks like. So, how to invite employees to Raise Kids. So, what you're going to do is you're actually going to set up a group. So, the group is sort of functioning like a classroom. What it really is a group of children and then people associated with that. So, whether it's you, whether it's people who work for you, being able to access that group themselves. So, that is one way of being able to quickly invite employees to certain children's accounts instead of having to add them to each individual family. It's also a quick way of managing their access. So if they were to leave you, all you do is remove them from the group and they no longer have access to children in that group. So it's a quick way of adding them as well as maintaining their access or removing access when necessary. So you can add each of your employees to a group. Generally, what we find is that with most programs, they are fine with just one group. There's not really distinct enough rooms for them to be in. But if you did have a program that has multiple rooms, you would set up multiple groups, one for each room, and then add employees and children to those groups who are in those rooms or who need access to the children in those rooms. So to add a group, what you're going to do is you'll go into the app, you'll navigate to the menu bar in the top left corner, you'll select the groups function from that menu bar, and then you will be able to name that group. And so here you can see a little preview of what that looks like. So you would add a new group. You would enter the group's name, which we recommend to be the name of your program if it wasn't something more specific to what room they're in. And then you'll navigate to the children. You'll be able to select children, any that you have access to. You can select to be part of the group. You'll save that. You'll navigate back so that you can now select caregivers to be assigned to that group. So here you'll add a caregiver with their email address. When you then email them, or when you then add their email address, it will automatically trigger an email that's sent to them saying that they've been invited to Raise Kids to the Little Tots Family Childcare Program and to log in to accept that invitation. As soon as they log in with that email address, they'll now have access to all those children who are associated with that group. So they can start adding events, adding photos, recording attendance, whatever it is that you want them to be doing in the app. So you can see their pending invitation here. You'll know that they accepted it because it won't be a pending invitation anymore. They'll actually be listed as a caregiver up above. So once employees are actually on Raise Kids and they have access to what they need, what can they actually do with it? They can add events for the children that they have access to. They can add photos or videos. They can access those scheduled events that you've set up for the group to make sure that they're aware of any special events that you have coming up, any vacation days, any sort of important dates to keep in mind. They can record attendance for children. They can access the activities. So they can plan activities if you would like them to, or they can follow along with what you've planned for them to do. And then they can record their time worked, which is a relatively new function that we've introduced to the app. So similar to the check-in, check-out feature for children, it's a similar clock in, clock out that we have for the adults, the employees that you have working in your program. So if an employee leaves your program and no longer needs access, simply delete them from the group and they no longer have access to that. So it's, again, a really quick way of managing their access to the children in the group. So our new feature about how to record employee time. So what you'll do is you'll navigate right back up to that menu bar, right where you had the groups, but this time it's called caregiver time. And when you navigate in here, you'll notice if you've used the attendance feature, it actually functions very similar to that. So all of your records of past clock in, clock out time records or ongoing ones will be listed here. And so you'll go ahead and press add a record, and then you'll select a group or family to assign your time to. Oftentimes in your programs, you're going to be assigning it to a group, unless your program really consists of just caring for one family and you don't have a group, you would just assign your time to that family to track your time. And you would then, it automatically defaults to the current date and time. You can adjust those. You can also process the clock out at the same time, but oftentimes most people are clocking in and then clocking out separately. But you can toggle that button on if you'd also like to record a clock out time. And then you would press clock in and out to start that record. So now I'll go through and show you what a demo looks like in the app. So here we are in the app, and we're going to navigate to that top left corner bar and menu bar, and we'll go to caregiver time. And here we'll go ahead and we'll see all the records that have been recorded, but we'll add a record ourselves. So here we'll select the groups or families. So we have access to many families. We've set them all up here. They're as part of our program, and then the groups that we have access to. So we'll go ahead and record the time for the Blooms and Flowers program, and we'll record this for, let's say it was today, and we are clocking in at 8:50 a.m. this morning. So we'll go ahead and process that clock in time. And then when we want to clock out, we just go ahead and press the clock out button. So say you're navigating back to this at the time that the employees finished working, they would go to the menu bar, caregiver time, they would see that they're still clocked in and they can clock out. It will automatically record the time that they actually process that, and they actually clicked that button, but they can go into the record and press the edit button in the case that they forgot to check out at the appropriate time and they need to go back and fix that record. So they actually clocked out at 4:50. We can save changes, and here you'll see it will also show who processed that clock in, clock out, which in this case, it's the person at the demo account, and they're clocking in time for themselves. And so here you'll see that it is recorded for each of the days that we've had. Now, if you need to then figure out how much you owe them for the week, how many hours they have worked for a specific week, month, whatever time period it is, you go up to this filter button here. So you can filter that. You can select from the caregivers who you have access to. And here you would then select, for instance, this one only has one. We'll select ourselves. We'll also select what group that time applies to. And then we'll select the to or from date. So let's say we want to see how much time over the last few weeks we have worked from the last 3 weeks through today. We'll apply that. And you can see the total hours here that we've worked through from June 15th to June 8th is only this 8 hours. We can look by day to be able to see what time period that is. And that was Tuesday, and we worked for 8 hours that day. If you want to see a different time period that has more recorded, let's look at what that could look like. So we'll clear these selections and we'll select from, let's see, the week of June 1st through or let's go a little bit further to June 14th. We'll apply that. And you can see there's 33 hours worked for that time period. You can look by day and see how much that is. Oftentimes you're looking by week specifically to figure out how much to pay for that week, and you'll be able to see whatever that top populated total is here. So that is a quick view of how to use our employee time tracking feature. Let me pop back into the presentation so you can see that. Okay. So again, here is how you would show the total period that you're looking for, the total number of hours. So again, you go to that filter button, you would select which person you're looking for, the date from and to, and it will populate that total amount for that time period. So if you have any questions, we do have specific step-by-step instructions with videos showing you how to do each part of this. It is in the Help Center, which is help.raisekids.com, utilizing the platform Business Management Employee Time Tracking, and you'll be able to see the step-by-step instructions. And of course, reach out to us at any point in time if you have questions or need help navigating. We have our email address, support@raisekids.com, as well as our phone number, which you can call or text, and a chat function within the Help Center. We'd love to hear from you, see you at future sessions, and please feel free to reach out anytime. Take care.